What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Historic Arena League with me, Jerupitus. And today, as you can see, we are going to be playing Gruul CoCo. CoCo is short, of course, for Collected Company. I've been working really hard to try to find a version of this deck that can win. I've been really struggling playing this archetype. To some pretty bad results for a while, but I landed on this list, which I think is quite good. It does a couple of things that I really like, and namely, that's replacing Gallia with Scavenging Ooze in the main deck. This card feels incredible against most decks, just in general, and it also allows you to fight through a bunch of removal and have one final big threat that can kind of take advantage of the fact that you've been making trades or they've been one-for-oneing you the whole time. It's just one more kind of haymaker and is also very disruptive for a number of strategies. So you're only playing 18 lands, but you do have 4 Kazandu Mammoth and 2 Shatterskull Smashing. Kazandu Mammoth kind of works as an extra 1-drop if you don't have Elves or Pelt Collector. You can play this tapped on turn 1 and make sure that you get enough mana to actually cast your Collected Companies. I really like the 4 of these in this one. Previous iterations of this deck that I've played have only played 2 of them, and it just never felt like I had enough lands, despite the fact that you have 4 Llanowar Elves. Very frequently, you really need to draw lands, especially if you have one of these in play. The rest of the numbers are pretty standard. But it does play 2 main deck Klothys. Klothys is awesome and lets you win games that you have no business winning otherwise because it is very hard to interact with, especially for decks like Sultai. And then there's an argument between Zerta Goblin and I am forgetting the name right now, but it's the other red-green 2-drop. It's a 3-2, makes 2 energy, and when you attack, you can pay an energy and make it into a 4-3 trample. The thing that I like about Zerta is that it can be a good blocker, whereas that 3-2 cannot with only 2 toughness. It is vulnerable to Stomp from Bone Crusher Giant, as well as many other things. So this card, I feel like, just gives you a better amount of decision-making, where you can, on the draw, play it as a 3-3 blocker, and on the play, you can play it as a 2-2 haste. It's just... It has more options, so I think that it's better in more situations, despite being a slightly worse attacker. So let's look at the sideboard. This deck has a bit of a transformational sideboard. In matchups where you want Grafdigger's Cage, you're going to side out all 4 of your Collected Companies, because obviously Grafdigger's Cage shuts off your companies, and then that's when you want the 3rd Klothys as well, because you no longer have Collected Company to find it, and it is difficult to draw a 1 or 2 of in a deck that doesn't draw any extra cards, particularly when you don't have Gallia anymore to do that. Extra Questing Beasts and Chandras are for when you need to go a little bit bigger. This is a spicy piece of technology from the sideboard. This is a deck I found online. I don't remember the author in this case, but I'm not so sure about this card, but it is good against your Titans, your Kroxas, and your Uros, where you can, at the very least... They have a 6-6 blocker that's very hard for you to deal with. Even when you have an Embercleave, you still end up just trading. This, at the very least... prevents them from just having an amazing blocker and then hitting you with it, and you pretty much lose the game from there. Scavenging Ooze, obviously, more of these for when it gets good, but generally speaking, more of these just after sideboard period, I would say. And then it has 4 copies of Abrade. That might be too many, but the matchups where you want Abrade, you can pretty much just get rid of all your Zerta Goblins. Those are going to be like control decks, usually. Because your Zertas are never going to be incredible. They're just fine. They're a good amount of devotion for Klothys, and they have haste, so they're just okay. But, you know, the matchups where you want a Braid, you definitely do really want to draw it. And that's pretty much all I've got to say about this. You know, there's a 1 of Magma Spray. I think the applications for that are fairly obvious. But I, in practice with this deck, went on a nice little 5-1 run, and I actually should have won... The match I lost, I just got auto-tapped with Scavenging Ooze. But nobody cares about your bad beat stories. So why don't we get right to the games, and I'll show you what this deck is all about. All right, on the draw, is this any good? We get to go 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop. I think it's great. This is obviously not the best hand that this deck can produce. Unclaimed territory on Spirit. I'm telling you. So I've drawn my 4th land, so I don't think I need to play Mammoth tapped at all anymore. So we'll just play Forest. But I'm telling you, when people make Mythic, they just play whatever they want because you can't actually drop out of Mythic. So you end up playing against a lot of very interesting decks. And they are tempos, and we're not going to be interested in blocking on the ground. So we just want to get haste and get in there. Oh, I was going to say, I would really love a Bone Crusher Giant right now, and there he is. So I could swing in and stomp the Supreme Phantom, but I think that's just too slow. So the question is, do I want to play Spellbreaker? Spellbreaker does attack through Supreme Phantom, and Zerta does not. Or I could play Mammoth Land Company. I think that hits pretty hard. It's not clear that Company is going to resolve, though. But I think it's got the most upside, so why don't we just do it? I should probably have attacked first. They may not have blocked there. Okay. So I'm going to play land. And then I think I'm just going to attack. Okay, well, this gives me a window to resolve my Company. So we're just going to go ahead and play it. That's about as good as it gets. And let's see. They have a 1-3. I think I'll give it haste anyway. Because we need to get damage in. Okay, that was weird. So I'm at 9, which is concerning. So I think what I'm going to do is play the Stomping Ground. Yeah. And then I'm going to Bone Crusher the Nibelgast Herald. Yep. Okay. And now they have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 flying, so I'm dead. And I can attack for 10. Okay, yep, we lose. All right. It feels like I should have played Spellbreaker first and then saved the Stomp. Yeah, that was probably better. So we messed that game up a little bit, but it's not a huge deal. So I think we want all our removal. Ooze is probably pretty good, and Questing Beast is very good as well. They just can't block it. Now, I can't block anything, so I think we can just cut Zerta for our removal. And usually on the draw, I feel comfortable cutting a Mammoth, but I think on the play I will not. But we can definitely cut a Klothys. In fact, we might be able to cut both. It is pretty slow. And they're looking to just play a few threats and play a few counters and just out-tempo me that way. And I feel like Klothys is not a good play because it doesn't do very much immediately. It takes a full turn cycle to deal 2 and gain 2. I don't know if I want to cut it entirely, though. Okay, since they don't have Planeswalkers, I think I'm just going to shave a Beast. We'll just play 2. Yeah, I just don't expect the game to last long enough for Klothys to be good. And then I guess we'll still shave a Mammoth. I don't know if I love doing that, but it is definitely the slowest card here as compared to some of the other things, so we'll go with that. Okay, let's play first. This is Burning Tree into Bone Crusher, so I think it's pretty good. And I'm not going to make excuses, but the game did lag and then presented me with their attacks, so, you know, I was a little confused, but I definitely made a pretty bad play there. I think I'm going to lead on Kazandu Mammoth. Yeah, we're just gonna... We'll go Burning Tree, Pell Collector. I feel like I want to save my stomps for their creatures. So if I can do something else, I will. If I hadn't drawn Pell Collector, I probably would have just gone Stomp Face. Yep, I'm gonna send... Play Elf, and then I'll leave up Stomp. Okay, that resolves. Resolve. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just get the Bone Crusher down. I could play Spellbreaker here, but I feel like they've got to tap out to do something, and then I can play Spellbreaker next turn and get the 4/3 attacker into play now. Okay, 4 mana is pretty ideal here, so why don't we play the Pathway, and then we'll have a company for combat. Sure. Yeah, we'll send them all. And since they're tapped low, I mean, they might have a Spell Pierce, but I kind of feel like I don't need to do anything right now. And we'll do the Stomp here because this makes them do something. Yep, sure. And you can gain 3 life if you want. But they're only going to have, like, a Spell Pierce up. So that means I can just freely play Company now. And that lets me cast Spellbreaker as well if I take the Burning Tree. Perfect. Alright, you're at 1. And the wins you get with this deck, they definitely feel like very overwhelming. All right, what do you say we attack everybody? Did they accidentally pick the same one twice? Well, that could have been better. But they're dead anyway. Like, I think when you have 2 triggers and you target something, they, like, move, and sometimes it's super not clear which one you originally targeted. The one you originally targeted, from your perspective, will be on the left. If that helps anyone. All right. So, yeah, like, a lot of their counter spells, like, they're definitely going to have things like Spell Pierce. So that makes me not really want to bring in Chandra, although it seems like okay on the draw. But they're so able to play the flash game that playing a 4-mana sorcery that kills something feels like a fool's errand. I think we just want to disrupt, 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 and then stick a large thing. Kenra's Transformation doesn't seem like horrible. It leaves him a 3/3, but it stops like a Lord. Do I want that? I don't think so. That seems insane, right? All right. This is everything you could possibly want. It's going to be tough to win on the draw, but if I'm gonna, this hand is, you know, capable of it for sure. Where's my library? I feel like I didn't draw a card. I guess it's there. Yeah, I'm not getting to draw cards. All right. We don't need any cards. All right, both our life totals are -1. I'm going to try Alt F4ing out and see what happens. I've got a library, and I have cards. Oh, this is very exciting. Okay. So now I want to play my second red, I think. So what did they do? They did Lookout's Dispersal, they have 2 mana up, and they countered my Burning Tree. Yep, let's play the second red. We'll see if they have another counterspell. So I do have 4 mana now, but I don't think I want to cast Company yet. Okay, there's another counterspell. And that's 2 of them, and if they keep leaving up just 2 mana, that's fine with me. Yep, let's cast Spellbreaker. All right. They want to race? Let's race. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's better to Collected Company now. So if I get Burning Tree, I will have 3 mana, but I won't be able to cast Shatterskull Smashing. So we'll just get Bone Crusher and Pelt Collector. Yeah, I mean, they get to attack for 6, so I'm dead in 2 attacks, so I have to make sure... Like, what if I lose Elf here? Then I won't be able to cast Questing Beast? Okay, there's no way I can attack with that, and if I'm not attacking with that, then I'm not attacking with Burning Tree. And I'm just going to play the land because I won't be able to play Shatterskull Smashing and Questing Beast next turn, and next turn is probably the last turn of the game. Yeah, I'm just sending everything. I can't block, so... Yes! Wow, what a weird game. We had no library, we weren't drawing cards, and we died to a misplay on game 1, and we won anyway. All right, let's play first. Lurrus could mean Auras, which is actually a pretty bad matchup for us, or it could mean Arcanist, which is also, I think, not a great matchup. But we're going to keep this hand. It's just Elf, Spellbreaker, Questing Beast, and that's good enough for me. And I even have double green if I lose my Elf, which is good. Think our next couple of plays are pretty obvious here. All right. So I have to try to... Okay. So I could attack into this and see if they'll let me Shatter Skull Smashing. The problem with that is that if they don't, then I will have missed attacking with Questing Beast. But I won't get another chance to actually kill Spirit Dancer. So it's a tough call. This seems like a pretty obvious not block to me. Like, if I'm them, I just certainly don't block. All right. Yeah, now we can never attack again. And eventually they will get to give Spirit Dancer flying. Yep, I think we're done here. Okay, so the key to this matchup is that you just cannot let Spirit Dancer live, not ever. And if you do that, the rest of the stuff is not so bad. The only other times I've lost are when they've made a gigantic lifelinker, but we really can't handle large creatures. So we want all of our removal. And what don't we want? Clothis is too slow. We can probably trim a couple of Pelt Collectors. Like, while it is a straight-up race, it is just much more important that you just kill Core Spirit Dancer when you can, and basically nothing else matters. So if you don't have a start with a 1-drop, it's, like, not a big deal at all. I think Questing Beast is fine, but it really only prevents them from attacking for a turn, and they eventually get First Strike anyway, so we can probably just cut it. And I think I'll just trim, like, a Zerta and a Kazandu Mammoth. That looks good to me. Okay, well, we've got a removal spell, and that's really all I care about, so we'll go ahead and keep. We even get to play a creature and then a removal. Okay, well, in that case, we can just play all of this stuff. That's fine. Let's play a green. Attack for 4. And now I think I'm just going to leave up the Abrade, so that way they can't go Spirit Dancer and then play something onto it. So that, at the very least, slows them down a bit. And now we're going to play this as a green. It loves to do that. Not leave up all your green for ooze. And we'll hit the Sentinel's Eyes. And we'll hit SRAM. Chandra off the top? Nope. Yeah, they got us. So how big can I make ooze? Just one more? I guess an Embercleave at some point could still win the game, so I'm not going to give up just yet. Yeah, that doesn't do it. Now they're drawing 2 cards per enchantment. I mean, I'll just play it. But yeah, we'll hang in and watch them go. They should be able to kill me this turn, I think. Yep, that does not do it. Okay, good games, Todd Turkey. Okay, we lost about 500 ranks from losing once. Let's play first. Yeah, this is good. All right, Witch's Oven, interesting. I wonder what deck that could be. So I'm going to play Ramen Up Ruins here, I think. Because I kind of need double green. Yeah, and I don't want to decide on this yet, so... However, if they don't have removal here, this could be a turn 3 Embercleave. It looks like they don't. Yep, let's play this as red then. Now, they're already super interested in killing Pelt Collectors, so I think I'm just going to throw this on Burning Tree Emissary. It's my worst threat. Yep, and Questing Beast should be pretty lights out here. All right, game 2. So against Sacrifice, you could certainly make an argument for cutting the companies, but I think they're red-black and not Jund, which makes me not really want to do Grafdigger's Cage. Like, they're going to have answers for it anyway, and we're kind of hampering ourselves by doing that. So it's definitely an interesting question. Like, obviously we want all our Scavenging Oozes. That's very good against them. I think Clothis is quite good as well, but maybe not 3. I mean, Cage shuts off Cat, and it shuts off, like, the other half of Woe Strider, but I just don't know how good that is. And, like, I like Chandra as an answer to Mayhem Devil, so we probably want to cut the Zertaz for, like, 4 Braids for Mayhem Devil, for sure. And Bone Crusher is a little weak in this matchup because they can just sacrifice things, and that counters both halves of Bone Crusher, so I think I'm going to shave one of those. It also doesn't kill Mayhem Devil. Maybe I'll shave 2 and get the other Questing Beast in. Questing Beast is pretty good against them. It can't die to claim the Firstborn. Like, obviously, they're going to bring in the... destroy target creature that's green or white, gain a life, black and 1 instant. I forget the name, but they'll probably bring that in, which is a good answer to Questing Beast for sure. And I wonder if maybe that means Chandra is better. But Questing Beast, they have a really hard time blocking. You know what? I think I talked myself into playing around their possible sideboard plans and just doing Chandra instead. Magma Spray is interesting, but, like, I think we're fine like this, and we're out of time anyway. I don't think I can keep this. That's too many lands. This is probably fine. I probably don't need both Pelt Collectors. All right, land is huge. That is a huge draw. Yeah, I'll play Burning Tree just to maybe protect my Pelt Collector. Also, I have nothing else to do. But I think that Clothis will be pretty good here. Alright, fortunately there's no Claim the Firstborn there. So I could play Spellbreaker. That gets me a lot closer to Embercleave, and then have Clothis be my last play. Yeah, it's pretty likely they just activate Priest, so it's not like Clothis is ever going to wake up. Okay. Yep. We're going to send everybody. And with any luck, I'll have 2 creatures on my next attack. Oh, and it turns out they are Jund, so... Yeah, I will not have 2 creatures. Okay. In fact, I will have none. Okay, so now we can go Clothis. Stomping Ground tapped, and hopefully Clothis can keep me alive for long enough here. But it doesn't seem super likely. Nope. Yeah, it's pretty easy to just concede right now. But we'll hang in there for a little while. All right, let's take the Butcher, I guess. Well, actually, we can leave their creatures because we do have Scavenging Ooze. And then I'm just going to Abrade the Mayhem Devil right now. Seems like you'd like to do a little more than that. Like, they could have sacked at least Cauldron Familiar to Scry before doing that. But I'm going to take, what, 4, possibly 5, 6, and then they'll have a 5/5. It doesn't look good. Okay, Bone Crusher, like, might keep me alive. So the problem is that if I do this, I guess I can kill Priest. Yeah, that'll work. Because if I were to do Woe Strider, they would just sack it. It would counter both halves. I need this to live. Yeah, they got me. Okay, they saw the line. Okay, but since they are Jund and they do have Collected Company, that makes me want to do the Grafdigger's Cage sideboard. I wasn't sure. But now I feel pretty strongly that doing the Grafdigger's Cage thing is the way to go. Now the question is, am I, like, heavy on things? Like, I feel like I do actually want all 4 Bone Crushers. Because I need a way to kill that Priest. That Priest stayed in play way too long, and that's why I lost. So that could mean that I want a Magma Spray as well. Yeah, in fact, it probably does. Let's get that in. And I do miss my Questing Beasts. So it's possible with all the removal, I'd rather just shave an Embercleave and we can bring in a Questing Beast. I think that's, like, fine to do. It seems a little crazy on the play, but they're very good at killing your stuff. So it's pretty tough to have 2 attackers on turn 4. Okay. Let's do it this way. This is definitely close. But then if I play turn 1 elf, I don't have any red. And if I play the red, then I can't play elf. So we're going to ship this. Oh, dear. All right, well, we've got elf, burning tree, like ooze. So this is good enough for me. And I think I'll just bin the double red card because I don't have a way to cast that. Okay, turn 2 to 6 mana worth of cards. Nothing wrong with that. The question is, will I ever draw a red? Okay. Stomping Ground is a huge draw. And I'm just going to jam Clothis. Okay, no attacks. So I could just kill both of them. I end up not being able to attack with Clothis, though, but I think that's fine. I only have to live for a few more turns. The problem is I don't really want to lose Elf. But I don't think I need to do anything, because Clothis is going to eat them up pretty soon. Okay, there's a priest. Ah! Oh no, opponent. We'll take their claim. And I think I'll just play Bone Crusher. Now, at this point, can I send Clothis? I kind of think so. They have to block, and I get to play Mammoth next turn. So if they go to kill my Burning Tree Emissary to, like, shut my Clothis off, I can just play a Mammoth and send it again. And after this turn, both Clothis and Bone Crusher will be lethal. That's not going to do it. So let's send it home. All right, we got the win against Jun's Sacrifice. Let's see. I can go turn 1 Mammoth, turn 2 Zerta, turn 3 Spellbreaker or something. They have a Gigantha, which means they could be Sacrifice, they could be combo, but we're going to keep this. Overgrown Tomb probably means Sacrifice. Leading on Elf is very good, so let's do that. I think I need to block here. So, the reason I'm thinking I need to block is because this thing just becomes a larger and larger problem. Next turn I'm going to get to play a 3/3, but it's not clear that that will even live. And then if this thing gets to like a 3/3 or 4/4, I just can't deal with it. So I think I just got to block. Okay, an untapped land is huge. Boy, I am top decking like a champ today. So yeah, let's do this. Let's play the Zerta. Now, do I want to give this haste? I think I'd rather have it be a 3/3. Yeah, I think so. Because they have things like Dreadhorde Butcher, which I wouldn't be able to block. Now, I would really like to have 2 attackers next turn, but it's pretty likely I'm playing a tapped land anyway, so I think we'll just play Mammoth. And I'll send the 3/3 in. I'm willing to trade, even though they get to draw a card. Because Midnight Reaper also becomes a bigger and bigger problem, where if they have a cat loop with it, it's very, very bad. I assume they have an oven here, then. Oven or a Woe Strider. And they get to make 2 food. That's pretty good. All right. I think it's pretty obvious we go Spellbreaker. And Mammoth tapped. Yeah, Butcher's pretty annoying. All right. But you can kind of see here by life totals that my deck is not executing and theirs is. But Joan Sacrifice is very, very good in creature matchups. Like, now they can sack Dreadhorde Butcher to Witch's Oven and kill Gruul Spellbreaker. Or this. That's actually not a very good company for them. I don't think it's going to matter very much. That's all the Ember Cleaves I could possibly want. Well, we're sending. I mean, I don't think you block like this. This is a pretty obvious Embercleave attack. But I definitely want that priest to die. If they have... No, this still leaves me dead, right? Because they hit me for 3 and then sack the Butcher. Okay, well, we'll make them do it. Alrighty, so they are Jund, and they do have company. So that means we are citing out all of our companies. Bring in the Clothis. Bring in the Abrades. And yeah, we do like Chandra to get around their sideboard cards. And we can do something like cut 2 Zerta, maybe cut 3. Oh, yeah, let's cut all 4 and let's get that ooze in. Yeah, that makes sense. I suppose I would like a Magma Spray as well. So we can shave a Pelt Collector for a Magma Spray. That works for me. Oh, we need our Grafdigger's cages. Let's get those in. That was the whole point of signing out companies. Yikes. I'm glad that I didn't head into that match. Okay. So we can shave a Mammoth. We can shave a Spellbreaker. Yeah, let's just cut 2 Pelt Collector. I guess we could just go like 3 and 3. Nah, we'll just cut 2 Pelt Collector. It's so important to start on Elf. And they can't really deal with it turn 1 if you're on the play. So we'll do it like this. Elf Cloth, this is pretty strong, so let's do that. All right, I think in an effort to, like, protect my threats, we can go Forest, Spellbreaker, and Elf. This makes them jump through some hoops to get to my Spellbreaker, and then we can follow up with Questing Beast. That'll do it. I was going to say, it's a little tempting to block Cat there. Seems strong. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I can just hit their Cat right now. That seems good. Nah, I think I just gotta get rid of this Mayhem Devil. Could this one brick? That's kind of a brick. Yep, let's take the company. I really want to play this Questing Beast, but I feel like it just gets eaten. So I think I'm just going to stick the Cage. Yeah. Well, they have had 2 very strong draws, I would say. So let's see. If they sack 2 Familiars, that's 4 damage. That puts me to 3. And then go sack Goose, sack Priest, sack Devil. So they could have killed me that turn. So, I mean, if I kill... I have to kill Devil, right? Like... And that puts me to 5. And then they just attack all. Well, I'll make them do it, but... Kind of a tall order to beat Jund Sacrifice with this deck. Too many matches? Sure, going for the style points. I respect it. That's what I would do. What you got, buddy? Oh, just that? That's kind of boring. I was hoping they would be able to, like, Mayhem Devil or, I don't know, like, put Gigantha in their hand. I would have at least done some dumb things like that. All right, let's see if we can salvage this league. We'll play first. Yeah, this is fine. This is 3 creatures on turn 2, so... Lanny, you are late. Does that mean I want to play Elf this turn? They played Kazandu Valley. I think it certainly does. Because then we'll just go shock myself company and then see where we're at from there. Or don't shock myself. That works too. This looks like a bunch of things that I want. So if I grab the Burning Tree, I can also play Ooze this turn, and I think that's worth doing. Although... I can always play Ooze next turn. It's not, like, faster to do that, right? It's faster to play the Haste, guys. Let's do that. Because if I see Lotus Cobra, I feel like they're headed towards Ugin, so I need to, like, kill them as soon as I can. That is not great for me. Well, I do like getting to kill Lotus Cobra, and I think I'll just send everything else. Yeah. Well, okay. Like, I could just send everything. Except for Elf, I don't think that makes sense to do. Well, I guess actually it does. Yeah, let's just attack all. Yeah, if they want to trade off Cobra, that works for me. Okay, you're at 6. And that's 2, 3, 4. So Ooze can be a 6/6.
Unfortunately for you.
So I can use 2 Ooze triggers. Don't you just die? Okay, so they are some kind of mono green. So what does that mean? It means I need to disrupt their ramp. The problem is nothing can really hide from Ugin, but it's likely they'll have things like Grafdigger's Cage, so I probably do want the Fora Braids. So why don't we get those in? Questing Beast seems okay, but like they also can block it fairly effectively. You know, it's also possible that I just don't want to sideboard at all, but that seems crazy. I think I want the extra ooze. It feels like they're going to want to trade a lot. I think we can shave a Clothis. Doesn't seem super important. Yeah, we'll just get the Abrades in, the extra ooze, and a Clothis. Lovestruck Beast is kind of an issue. That does make me maybe want an extra Questing Beast just to have something that can, like, effectively block that. I think we can shave one Mammoth. Although Mammoth becomes a 5/5, so why don't we shave a Spellbreaker? I think that makes sense. Because if they've got that 5/5, Mammoth is one of the only cards I have that can attack into it. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and ship this. Oh, no. This is a thing this deck does. 2 tapped lands, you say. Well, I'll keep it. And they're both green? I guess... I mean, I'm definitely getting rid of a red card. Although this one's removal. So I'm getting rid of 2 red cards. It's probably Spellbreaker and a Bone Crusher. But Bone Crusher is cheap. So I feel like I should probably get rid of one of my 4-drops. And Company catches me up more than Questing Beast. So we'll do it like that. Okay, that's a gift. I think I'm still just playing the tapped land, though. Okay. Yeah, we'll just play Bone Crusher and plan on trading. If they don't have Primal Might, Ram Through is good, too. Alright, but that's all. I maybe can beat that. I see. Vivian is definitely a thing that people like to play.
Diversity is our greatest strength.
All right. So I've got 5 mana. I could send the ooze at Vivian. They probably block. But then I just Embercleave? Okay.
Try that again. I dare you.
He's large. But Ooze is going to get pretty out of control pretty quick here.
We will adapt to any threat.
Like, so if I make Ooze into a 6/6, then I still have a Braid. I do need to watch out. I'm at like, they have 8 damage. But I assume I just send at them. All right, that leaves them at 6. Okay, Love Struck Beast is fine.
I love making new friends.
I do like if they attack with that. So I do kind of need to get a creature in the graveyard. To grow my ooze some more. Because if ooze is at 7, that's 14. They need 8 toughness. So I can get rid of this. And then unless they block everything, they just lose. So we're not blocking. All right. So Shatterskull Smashing could kill something, but I kind of want to leave up the Bone Crusher Giant, so why don't we just send it them? That's pretty good. Sudden Spinnerets, huh? Okay. Yeah, they need to block everything. All right. So if I grow this thing... Yeah, let's put the 5 in front. So this is 14. I first strike 5. And this is 18, so I can't even Bone Crusher and kill Yorvo. I can still play Shatterskull Smashing untapped. And they will only have 2 attackers, but if I do that, then, yeah, then they have another attacker. They have 2 attackers, and I only have 1 blocker. So I think this is what happens. So, wait, I could Smashing for 2. That still doesn't do anything. I'm going to take my time out here. Yeah. If I play Mammoth, I take 3, but I have to block, so I don't have any creatures. I could still rip a haste creature. I don't think that gets me there, though. All right, game 3. All right, we're back on the play. Which is good. I wonder if I just don't want Clothis at all. I kind of feel like I don't. Yeah, okay. All right, let's get a good hand on the play. Let's go. Yeah, this is a fast company. I like it. Yeah, we can go Stomping Ground Mammoth. This is awesome. So pay 3. Burning Tree Emissary. Collected Company. And if I go Bone Crusher, Burning Tree, I can stomp face. But then I don't get an ooze. But I think that's pretty good. I don't even know what that is. Creature spells cost 1 less. Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, mono green on the draw does not have the tools to stop Gruul. All right, that wraps it up for today. We went 3 and 2, which is not super exciting, but it's been that's a lot better than I've been doing with this deck. So if you're thinking about picking up this deck, I highly recommend this version. I do realize that we started at 700 Mythic and did 5 matches and ended at 1100, losing about 400 ranks. So, like, if the question is in general, do you think I should play Gruul? My answer is probably not. I just feel like this deck doesn't have a great plan for a lot of pretty basic cards, like a Escaped Uro, for example. It's very, very hard to beat if you're at parity or a little behind. If they can play Uro and escape it, it's just bigger than everything you have, and you don't have a great way to get through it, and they gain 6 life on that play and then gain 3 more. It's just very, very tough, and it's like one of the most played cards in Historic. So, like, playing a deck that doesn't really have a plan, I don't know if Kenrith's Transformation counts as a plan against Uro. It might. We didn't get to try it, unfortunately. But we went 1-1 versus Jund Sacrifice, which I think is actually pretty respectable. Jund Sacrifice is incredible in creature matchups, so the fact that we were able to win a match against them, I think, speaks to how good this configuration is. So if there's any changes I would make, I don't really think so. Like, I've been pretty happy with every single card. The most suspect one is, of course, Kenrith's Transformation. And then I don't know if you need 3 Gravedigger's Cages, but I suppose the matchups where you want them, you really, really want to draw them. So if you liked watching the video, if you had fun, please leave me a like, leave me a comment if you have any questions, or if you want to point out anything stupid I did. I'm sure there's a lot of things. But with all that said, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next league.